We're following in the footsteps of royalty here on Sportsvibe because we're in Horse Guards Parade, the venue, of course, for Trooping of the Colour, and Kate and Wills came through here after that wedding. But today it looks a little bit like a gym. And to explain why, we're joined by England's stalwart, their most capped hooker ever, Steve Thompson. What's the story? You don't see rowing machines in Horse Guards every day.
No, you might as well just chuck in old man as well. No, we don't. Well, what they're looking to do here today, they're rowing, for charity for 24 hours. They're hopefully going to do a million metres, or they will do it because they're crazy people. For me, that'd be enough for charity. But then also, it's part of their training to also go on and row the Atlantic. And you've got a lot of the Air Forces lads here, lost limbs and things like that. But they are inspirational people, and they're the type of people that haven't, just given up. They thought, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start raising money for the boys that are out there, and that's their way of doing it. And they're going to start rowing. And to me, I look at that rowing machine, I just feel sick instantly. So I've had a few sessions a few years ago on that, but since my injury, it sort of stops me from being able to go on one of them. So for me, they're brutal, and I'm going to try and stay as far away from it as possible.
I get quite competitive on a rowing machine, always trying to beat my time over 2,000 metres. Were you a bit like that when you used them?
I was, but then also you come up against mutes like Martin Johnson, things like that, who are just machines on it, and then suddenly you get the little lads like Lee Mears, who's dies on it, bless him. He's got small limbs, so it's quite hard. Whereas no, and they're a real hard thing to do. And for me, just looking at them, and they're all smiling now, drinking their water before they start. But I'm sure even in an hour's time, they're going to be feeling like death. So in 24 hours, I hate to see what they're going to look like.
In bits, probably. It is for a brilliant cause, raising money for injured service personnel. And as you said, a brave quartet are going to row across the Atlantic in a boat not dissimilar to this, actually, in December, to raise further funds for Road to Recovery. Now, you recently have had first-hand experience, haven't you, of life on the front line? Yeah,
I was able, really lucky to go over to Afghanistan, and we flew out and we were in Camp Bastion for a few days, and also down in Suka, and then went to ISAF. And for me, just seeing the lads out there, it's weird because you're in Camp Bastion and it's sort of quite relaxed, and everyone's there, and it's 45 Celsius, really hot. Everyone's got the sun cream on, and suddenly you think outside those gates, that there is a war going on, and these lads, are putting their life on the line, and unfortunately there are people dying there, weekly, and getting injured. And these lads, they've been out there, all taste it, but now, they're here to raise money and help the lads that are coming back injured, and hopefully getting them back into normality and into normal life as quickly as possible.
So how does Steve Thompson, England rugby player, end up in Afghanistan?
It was actually a kit man, Dave Matthews up in Leeds. His nephew was serving out there, and they said, look, would you fancy going out there and meeting some of the troops and having a look out there? And I said straight away, yeah, definitely. And a few of my mates thought I was stupid, but we knew that already. So I just thought, yeah, definitely, I'd love to go out there, and I must admit, I'd love to go out there again. And for me, it's inspirational going out to see what they're doing. And the one thing they kept asking, what's happening at home, what's people saying. I said, look, everyone back here is just backing the troops, and you can see that with all the charity work that's going on. The Help for Heroes, the Road to Recovery, everything like that. Everyone just really wants the boys, to come do well, and then when they come back, they want to look after them as well, and everyone knows they're doing a great job.
They call it Camp Hell, Bastion. Give us a perspective for people who haven't been there, which is the majority, what it's actually like.
The size of it's just unbelievable. In 8 years ago, they were saying there was nothing. It was like desert, and it's the size of Reading now already. So it's unbelievable. It's phenomenal, the size of it. There's pools where everyone's waist goes, and there's a lot of wind. And when people are talking about dust, they said try not to get it in your mouth and things like that, because it's not normal dust. It's where the waste come from. So we're all like trying not to be sick and things like that. It's hot, and it outside it is horrendous. You see these lads, some of them, they're carrying 70 kg on their back, 45 Celsius, like I said, and they're going out there and they're having to concentrate, looking out for mines, also the Taliban and everything like that, and they're just phenomenal people. And for me, I would be able to, I'd collapse and be in a heap after an hour of doing it. And they're out there, 6 to 8 months they're doing it for, and for me, they're heroes.
And I gather you went with your old mucker Neil Back, another stalwart of the England rugby team, and he went head to head with a military attack dog. Now I'm wondering if that military attack dog quite knew what it was taking on.
No, Backy, yeah. If he'd have had his helmet off, he'd probably looked at Backy's face and ran off, because he's so ugly now after rugby. But no, You know, it was great. You see Backy, there he is. We had a big story. They're saying, oh yeah, now we've gone away from the old German Shepherds. We're just using Springer Spaniels because they're a bit more agile. They can go there and they tend to go for your throat. So we're all hiding around. Backy gets in this dog suit thing and an ice hockey helmet. He starts running off around this building, and next minute there's this massive Alsatian come out of this door, just straight after him, pins him down. It's drooling in his face, and apparently, you know, I was just there, and everyone just climbed on this 6-foot wall because all the army lads, if he spots someone else, this dog will just eat anyone. So, you know, you see it was an unbelievable sort of sight to see this dog just pulling Backy down and sort of mauling him. But no, it was funny to see.
I can imagine. Well, good for you for going and doing that. I know some of the England lads were off in Vegas on their holiday, so shame on them. In camp now with England, you're very much in World Cup mode. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. I've been back for 3 weeks now, well 4 weeks actually, but we had 3 weeks off whenever your last game was, so then I had to come back into these pre-camps, which weren't too hard at Twickenham, you know, just 4 days on really. So now we're down in our base in Bagshot, and you know, it was the first real week, and it's just good. You can just feel a bit of a buzz coming along. You know, some of the lads coming back straight from their holidays, all brown, and suddenly, you know, they're a bit sore after the first couple of days of doing the weights and fitness. But, you know, the banter's already back down there, and everyone's just really looking forward to it. And you can see there's a good buzz around, and boys just getting into it. And it's weird. It's the hardest period really, because you're not playing rugby, but you're doing fitness, but you know, already people are getting competitive, and you know, everyone's just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and how much does it mean to you, Steve, to see your name there in that list of 45 for the World Cup squad? I mean, at one point, it nearly didn't happen again for you when you had that serious neck injury, and then you've actually retired. So to be in contention again, it must mean a lot. Yeah,
it's massive, because when I came back to play, when I made the decision to come back, my main focus was to get to this World Cup, I must admit. So, you know, I'm not there yet. So hopefully, you know, I can get through this camp and then get selected into the final 30. But you know, that's the biggest thing for me was to come back and you know, obviously get another cap. Then it was my 50th cap. I've done that now, and then now it was to get to the World Cup. So you know, this is my real focus, and you know, I want to do that. And then afterwards, you know, I'm at Wasps for 3 years, and I'm really looking forward to that now. So you know, for me, life's just getting better and better for me at the moment, and you know, I'm just enjoying it.
So why didn't you just, you know, hang on to the insurance payout and live the high life?
I missed it. I just missed the adrenaline. I missed the lads. I missed being abused. It's a bit different when you're in the real world compared to like with the rugby lads. And you know, I just thought I had a bit more to offer, and I don't know. I think I was a bit scared of going into the real world as well, you know. So for me, you know, it's just a bit of time now of doing what I really enjoy. You know, some of the lads think it's a hard life playing rugby, but it's not. It's really easy. You know, you muck in. It's difficult physically sometimes, but then, you know, it is a great lifestyle.
And you've got the T-shirt on. Are you actually going to earn that T-shirt by doing some rowing now?
Not this time, no. Like I said, I've got an injury already, so no, I'm can't go on one of these rowing machines again. So because of my neck and my back, so. No, I'm just going to be there and I'll be cheering them on. But, you know, like I said, I think they're mad. So fair play to them.
Good luck for the rest of the season and, of course, in New Zealand in September. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Thanks so much.